What's going on, people? And this is my lineup for tomorrow's massive game against Germany at Wembley, England versus Germany. And look, I think we can beat them. In terms of playing them at the moment, I think it's a great time to be playing them. I don't think that they look like the normal Germany we're used to seeing in tournaments. They definitely have their weaknesses, and I think we can exploit them, but they can do the same to us. But I do fancy us to win, but I think if we're going to do that, we're going to have to do it in the 90 minutes. Because if it goes to extra time and penalties, or just extra time, I think it favours Germany. And I think that they've got that little bit more know-how, that tournament experience in history as well. And I just think they've got a better mindset when it comes to that. And so I think if we're going to win it, we've got to do it in the 90 minutes, because I can't see us winning in extra time and I can't see us winning on penalties. They seem to have an advantage with that, and they always have in terms of that mindset, and I don't think that our players have that. So, look, I think debatable about the lineups that people are going to pick. I'm definitely going to have some in there that I know people are going to lose their shit about, but I don't care. This is my lineup. And a lot of people would probably go with a lot different, but there's certain players that aren't backing it up. And we got to face facts. So my lineup, I would go with a 4-1-2-3. I don't like this two defensive midfield roles. I think we've got a player there that can do both on his own, instead of having two players there. So Pickford would be my keeper. His distribution from goal kicks and just passing off, he's the best I've ever seen for England. Probably not the best shot stopper I've ever seen, but in terms of passing the ball out and distribution from goal kicks, Pickford I've never seen anyone like him, and I think he's had a good tournament. He's arguably our player of the tournament for me. So Pickford would be my keeper. Reece James I would have at right back. I prefer him to Walker. A lot of people want to go with Walker. He's got more experience, but Reece just won a Champions League, Reece James, and I think that he's a great crosser of the ball, and I think he's probably better defensively than Walker is as well. So he obviously hasn't got the pace Walker has, but I would go with him. I don't think Southgate will, but I would go with Reece James. Then I'd go with Stones and Maguire at the centre-back. I think it was harsh that Mings got just dropped for Maguire to come back in. I think Mings was a great player for us and lived up and exceeded many people's expectations before the tournament. I was one that doubted him because I've seen him for Villa during the season, and he made a lot of mistakes. And I prefer Konsa to him. I'm surprised Konsa didn't get called up ahead of Mings. But I think Mings stepped up, and I think the games he did play, he done more than enough. So I think it's a little bit harsh for him to be dropped, but it was always going to happen with Maguire. And I think Maguire done well when he come back in. So I'd go with Stones and Maguire. They've got that more partnership and history with it, but obviously playing in the World Cup together. So I'll go with Stones and Maguire. Then I have Luke Shaw at left back. For me, one of the best left backs in Europe, in the world as well at the moment. People might go with Chilwell more. I think Southgate will play Trippier there. But I need to have a left-footed left-back or wing-back on that side. So even if you go with Chilwell, I'd still rather have that than Trippier, because he's right-footed Trippier, and I want a left-footed left wing-back or left-back. So I would go with Luke Shaw. I think defensively he's a lot better than Chilwell. I think going forward Chilwell's better. But I think Shaw is capable going forward as well, and he's better defensively than Chilwell. So I would go with Luke Shaw. Then the one defensive midfielder, I've previously gone with Rice, but I think he's been a bit quiet. So I'm going to go with Phillips. I'd put Phillips where Rice would play, and I'd put Rice on the bench. I would put Phillips in a defensive midfield role. He's more mobile, quicker than Rice is as well. So I'll go with Phillips, give him that responsibility, and he's more than capable of doing a job there. And then I'd go with two just in front of Phillips in like the number 8 roles, and I'd go with Foden and Grealish. I was tempted to put Bellingham in with Grealish, but I think just attacking wise, I think Foden is that. He's just got that flair in that. I don't think he's shown that yet, to be honest, but I would go with him just in terms of creating a little bit more than Bellingham would. He's a different player to Bellingham, but I felt a little bit harsh leaving Bellingham out. But I would go with Foden and Grealish. Foden to the right and Grealish to the left. And then on the left of the attack, I'd have Saka. I thought he was brilliant. I know he played on the right for that game recently, but I would play him on the left because I like that left-footed player on the left instead of cutting in. So I'd have him there. On the right, I would have Raheem Sterling. I think he's justified his place. I wouldn't have had him starting there pre-tournament because I don't think he had a great season. And I think even in the tournament, and he's been the one getting the goals, he's been very wasteful as well with the amount of chances he has had. So he should have more goals than he's got, I think. But I think because he's literally the only one getting the goals right now, Sterling starts, and then I'd go with Calvert-Lewin up top at the number 9, because Harry Kane, yes, he's brilliant usually, but he hasn't been in this tournament and he hasn't shown it. People saying that he's not getting the service from the other players, but when he's dropping out of that number 9 role and coming deeper into the midfield, he's not creating either for other players. So for me, it's not even a fact that people aren't creating for him. When we do put crosses into the box, he's not even in the box because he's hanging back. So for me, he's having a poor tournament, and whatever the reason is, whether it's because he hasn't sealed his move or got his contract sorted, that's not good enough for me. That's a poor excuse. And on top of that, he's our captain, and he's not showing leadership for me. He's not showing that fight. His body language looks off. He doesn't look fit to me either. So for me, Calvert-Lewin has to come in, and a lot of people laugh at that, but laugh all you want. He offers more aerially, and he's going to offer more just in terms of holding the ball up and strength and causing problems. He's not as good as a finisher as Kane is, but Kane's not even doing that right now, so what are we doing? So Calvert-Lewin starts as number 9 for me. As I said, I am excited for tomorrow's game. I'm not putting all my hopes in it because obviously it's Germany, do you know what I mean? And history shows that they do us over. But I do think we will win if we get it done in 90 minutes. But if it goes past 90, I think Germany will do it. But I'm going 1-0 England, 90 minutes. And I'm going to go with a Jack Grealish goal. So that is my prediction, 1-0 England. I just hope it don't go to extra time. But I'll see you tomorrow, guys. I will do a post-match video as well after the game. But let's hope it's a good one. And yeah, I hope that I'm celebrating with a post-match. So I'll see you guys then.